All right, let's learn how to play Abandon All Artichokes. It's a really fast, fun little card game all about getting rid of some pretty unwanted vegetables. In this quick guide, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to start playing right away.
So the box calls this a deck wrecking game. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's basically the exact opposite of a deck builder. Instead of collecting cool new cards, your whole goal is to get rid of the bad ones. It's built for 2 to 4 players, and a game only takes about 20 minutes. Seriously, it's perfect when you just want a quick game.
So what's the goal? What are you actually trying to do? Well, the name of the game says it all, right? Your one and only mission is to get rid of all those pesky artichokes that are clogging up your hand.
And here's how you win. You just need to end your turn holding 5 cards with absolutely 0 artichokes in your hand. The very first person to do that wins. Just like that, game over.
Okay, so before we can start weeding those artichokes, we got to get the table set up. Don't worry, it's super quick and easy. First things first, everybody gets a starting deck of 10 artichoke cards. Yep, that's all you've got to start with. Then take all the other vegetable cards, shuffle them up really well, and put them in a face-down pile. That's your garden stack. From that stack, you'll flip over the top 5 cards, face up, to create what's called the garden row. Make sure you leave a little space for a discard pile that everyone shares. We'll call that the community compost pile. And last but not least, everyone shuffles their own little 10-card artichoke deck and draws a starting hand of 5 cards. So when you're all done, your table should look something like this. You've got your personal deck and discard pile right in front of you. And then in the middle of the table, you should have the big garden stack, the 5 face-up cards in the garden row, and that empty space for the compost pile.
All right, setup's done. Let's talk about how a turn actually works. It's really straightforward. Every single turn has 5 phases, and you always do them in the same order.
So those 5 phases are replenish, harvest, play, discard, and draw. Let's just quickly go through what each of those means.
Okay, so first, you replenish. That just means if there are any empty spots in that garden row, you fill them up from the main deck. Easy. Then comes phase 2, harvest. This is how you get new cards that aren't artichokes. You just pick one of the 5 face-up veggies from the garden row and put it straight into your hand. Next up is phase 3, playing cards. And this is where all the fun stuff happens. See all those new vegetables you're harvesting? They have special powers. And you're going to use those powers to, you guessed it, get rid of your artichokes. This is the whole point of the game, right? Thinning out your deck so you have a better shot at winning. And the main way you'll be getting rid of those artichokes is by composting them. Now, when a card tells you to compost something, that card goes into the community compost pile. And this is super important. It's not your personal discard pile. Once a card is composted, it's out of the game for good. It's never coming back.
Let's take a look at an example. Here's the onion. When you play it, it lets you compost 1 artichoke from your hand. Awesome, right? But here's the catch. After you use it, you have to give the onion card to another player by putting it on top of their discard pile. So, it's a super powerful way to get rid of an artichoke, but you only get to use it once before you pass it on.
Okay, here's another fun one, the beat. This one's all about player interaction. You pick an opponent, and then you both swap a random card from each other's hand. Now here's the cool part. If the cards you swapped are both artichokes, you just compost them. They're both gone. If they're not, well, you just keep the cards you swapped. It's a little bit of a gamble, but man, it can really pay off. So after you're done playing all the cards you want to play, you move into the last 2 phases. It's basically cleanup. First, you take any cards you didn't play and put them in your personal discard pile. Then, and this is the big one, you draw 5 new cards from your deck. And this moment right here is when you check to see if you've won the game. Okay, so we've talked about how a turn works, how to use the vegetable powers, and how to compose those artichokes. Now let's talk about the best part, how you actually win.
It all comes down to that very last phase of your turn, the part where you draw your new hand.
So after you draw those 5 new cards, you look at them. And if you see 0 artichokes in that hand, you slam those cards down on the table, you show everyone, and you declare victory. You have officially abandoned all artichokes.
Now, before we wrap up, just a couple of really important rules to remember. These will save you from some arguments later, trust me.
First, and this is the big one, you can only win at the very end of your turn, after you draw your new hand. You can't win in the middle of your turn, even if you manage to get rid of all your artichokes. You have to wait until that final draw step, okay? And second, if you ever run out of cards in your personal deck, no big deal. Just grab your discard pile, give it a good shuffle, and that becomes your new deck to draw from.
And that's really all there is to it. You now know everything you need to play Abandon All Artichokes. So go on, get to it, and have fun.